Okay, I'm out here with the Rovan F5 and I just wanted to do a little early morning maintenance on the thing. We're about to get some thunderstorms. And I didn't want to have the thing all jacked up inside the house or make a mess inside the house. So I brought it out here just to get all this gunk out of it. Oh boy, this thing is a beast. I mean, this is not a knock to arm or anybody with a 1/5 scale or RTR. But since this thing was a roller, yeah, this boy is a 5th scale. This thing gets complete 5th scale. All of it is 5th scale. Craziness. I mean, it doesn't get any more 5th scale than this. I mean, I got a caliber. Now you know I mean business. This thing is insane. I mean, when it comes down to 5th scale, you want pins, CVDs, diffs. You want huge stuff to withstand the weight of the actual car itself, because the weight is what kills 5th scales the most. I mean, you got a lot of things moving. You got a lot of parts being subjected to enormous amounts of pressure and stress because of the actual weight of the damn car. Now, this thing is actually fairly light for 5th scale, but when it comes down to it, this thing is beefy as hell. I mean, let's just see what the CVDs have. Okay, now I got it on inches like an idiot. Okay, so rear CVD is, holy shit. Are you joking me? Oh my god. Okay, we can just call it like 7. Yeah, that's 7 millimeters. That's. And this is stock. This is complete 100% stock. One actual 100% stock. I have done nothing to this truck. I haven't even serviced the damn dips, which is kind of bad, considering that I have no idea what's in there. But it does seem to have some diff fluid in the front and rear diff, and it doesn't have a center diff, even though I did buy one. I haven't put it in yet. So, yeah, so CVDs are huge, 7 millimeters. Awesome stuff. Now the pin, put this thing up for a second. The pin, this thing, this is the pin for the what do you call this thing? Oh, the wheel hex. And I am in all kinds of scuff right now, which is awesome. Yeah, that's a 5 millimeter pin. 5 millimeter. That's Arma 5 millimeter. We're not talking about the 4 from the Scorch RC stuff, or the 3.5 from the M2C and the Arma. We're talking 5 fucking millimeters. 5. And that goes for the pins on the inside to that 5 millimeters. That's, yeah, that. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. This is 5th scale. This thing was made to take whatever the hell you put in it. I mean, the Max 5 combo I got in it, it's par for the course, because that's what it was made to take. I mean, that's the most the dominant motor combo for a 5th scale is that. I mean, they're readily available, and they're used in pretty much everything, from the huge Raminator, even though, yeah, they used 2 of them for that truck the first time, instead of moving on. I mean, when they moved on to that giant system that they put in there that you can buy, that's like like $2,000 or whatever. Yeah, but before then they mocked it up with a Max 5 combo. Yeah. I mean, most conversions that you see in this thing is pretty much a conversion for a roller using Max 5 combo. But this thing can take a system that's way bigger than that. I mean, easily 12S, 16S, whatever you want to put in this thing is going to hold up to it. Because the components are huge. They're overly built. I see people dumping 12S and 16S systems in the crate, and I'm like, what? But that just comes from the base word of ignorance, from the fact that you have absolutely no idea about the drivetrain in that truck when you start throwing in huge ass systems and something like that. And it's just a over exaggerated 6 scale. And there are plenty of 6 scales out there that have dumbed down components from 5th scale, just like the Creighton, and that's what it is. I mean, those are 6th scale components, but the truck is big enough to be called 5th scale, even though a proper 5th scale truggy is literally gonna be, it's gonna be huge. I mean, this is a car. This is a actual car in 5th scale, and the 5th scale Creighton is not too much wider than this thing. A 5th scale trugger would possibly be twice as wide as this car. Twice as wide. And probably 50% longer. That would be a 5th scale truggy. Now, monster trucks, which are smaller than truggies, and they are, a 5th scale monster truck will be something like the Rominator. That's an actual 5th scale. Now, there are smaller 5th scales like the Rovans and the Locies that pretty much use a truggy base, or a base of a car like this, stretch it out and widen it out a little bit with some arms, and they call it a monster truck and a truggy. Yeah, that's par for the course. But when you're talking about scale, take your typical 8th scale monster truck. I mean, there's not too many out there that's typically 8th scale. I mean, you can think about something like E-Max or yeah, but that's still 10th scale. I mean, when you're talking about scale alone, something that's an 8th scale monster truck is going to be in the range of like a Hyper MT or a Losi 2XL or something like that. That's a 8th scale monster truck, and they have 8th scale monster truck components. Now you up to 6th scale and you have stuff that's like in the X-Max and the Creighton. Now the Creighton is a bit oversized, but for the course, that's a 6th scale truggy, and is going to handle 6th scale truggy components, which is something like this. Now this is a 1/5 scale system, but the Creighton is designed to actually handle that, and it does a good job handling it. But as soon as you jump up the power to something like a Castle XL2, or I mean XLX or something, XLX2, whatever they want to call that thing. Ugh, they even X themselves out of so many names, it's hard to even keep up anymore. But you're talking about something that can deliver 400 to 600 amps to a motor. That will absolutely destroy the Creighton. it will break. Pins off of dog bones. It'll shred internals. Now the ring and pinion on that truck for the diff is actually excellent. It's on the small side compared to something like this. This is complete fifth scale. The internals in this truck is pretty much the same as the low C 5T and all those other clones of the low C's and the Rovans, the MCDs. Those are fifth scale components, huge ass diffs, internals that's made to take systems like this, 12S, 16S, that kind of stuff. Those are components that are made for upping the amount of amperage and voltage that a system can take. The Creighton, no. Put this stuff in the Creighton, and yeah, it'll be able to take 12S or 16S. And yeah, I know there's people that say that, yeah, I put 12S in my Creighton and I can run it all day. Yeah, I have trouble out of my Creighton just by upping the diff fluid and the rear diff, so I can get a little bit of positive traction on the thing without blowing the diff cup off of the down sucker. When you have a diff that the cup tends to want to shred, no, the actual ring tends to shred the screws on the cup. That's not fifth scale. The screws on that cup are 3.5 millimeters. That is not fifth scale. Fifth scale screws start out at 4 millimeters and they go up to 5 with stuff like the big Rovans, and they're 5 in the Remedy. Those are fifth scale screws. 4 and 5 millimeters, not 3.5. I don't know what the hell I was thinking about putting some 3.5 millimeter screws. I mean, they could have avoided so many problems with that truck just by upping some of the components of I mean, this is 5 millimeters. That's huge. But you can go up to 4 without too many problems whatsoever. I mean, just see what Scorch did. They put 4 millimeter pins in their truck and they call it a day. I mean, this is a 4 millimeter pin compared to a 5 millimeter pin. No, actually, no. This is a. Oh, well, let's see what it is. Let's put the GoPro down and scuff it out some more and see what the heck this pin is, since I have absolutely no idea. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah, it's 4 millimeters. Yeah. So we got a 4 millimeter pin that came out of something. What did this pin come out of? I don't have any idea. I just found a 4 millimeter pin just to compare it to a 5 millimeter pin. I mean, when you talk about girth, just looking at it from head on, that 5 millimeter pin just looks so much fucking larger, and that's just 1 millimeter difference, just 1. And the 4 millimeter pin is even larger than the 3.5 millimeter pin that the Armor's got. I mean, when you're talking about fifth scale components and you want a fifth scale, put the components in the truck that make it fifth scale. I mean, now M2 Season came out with a 7 millimeter CVDs for the armor, and Scorch did too with the cups that can have a 4mm pin and whatnot. But in the end, those pins can still break. This thing, there's absolutely no breaking that 5mm pin. Forget it. It ain't happening. It's not happening whatsoever at all. Not happening. It's not. As a matter of fact, I can run this truck literally all day on 8S, and it won't blink an eye at all to what I do to it. Nothing. I mean, all day. And yeah, I got the DS servo one. The thing, I mean, what is that? 60 kilograms, and it turns the wheels just fine. I don't need the wheels of the truck is over here being clamped. Yeah, that's small. So that's fine. I mean, that's fine. It is what it is. I done made this car to be something that I can roll over in my field over there all day, sliding and turning and doing all this little craziness. It can get airborne too, which is bad because it ends up flying like a kite. And this thing is still 25 pounds flying like a damn kite. Oh yeah, how thick is the chassis on this car? It's 5mm. This big ass chassis is 5mm. You can't make this stuff up. You can't. This is 5th scale. This is what 5th scale is supposed to be. Now I know Armor needed to make their car cheap enough to be a price point to where it can compete with the X-Max and whatnot. And I know this roller cost $7.99 from Rovan. I think I got it for like $700 one time. I think I got it for like $700, but they kept on upping the price of it. I think it's like either $7.99 or $8.29 or something like that, and it's still selling out. That's just how stout this thing is. You can, and it comes ready to put a Max 5 combo in it with a 5th scale servo, ready to roll, ready to go. It even has a dual servo setup. Now this is just a regular old 60 kilogram DS servo off of Amazon. Yeah, and it's perfectly fine. You don't need 2 servos, but you can put 2 servos in it. Yeah, the rain is coming. The wind is picking up, and we're about to get thunderstorms. Rip me and rip my Sunday. Yeah, I'll probably be in the house fixing the damn crate that I have to put the diff back together. I don't think I blew out the diff in the EXB yet, and I haven't. Yeah, the crate in the EXB, and I haven't ran the Outcast EXB yet. So that thing is pretty much brand new, ready for me to go on and throw on a few updates so I don't end up tearing up that stuff like I did for the crate. Yeah, these ramblings can come on and get kind of long-winded, but 5th scale, you can't play around with that stuff. And this is not a knock to Armor, because they definitely made a damn good truck. I mean, that Outcast, I love that thing. I really do. I still got about, what, I want to say I got around, yeah, I don't have nearly as much into that thing as I did the Creighton, because I didn't fool around with that Creighton so much and changed it over so many times. Yeah, I mean, Outcast is all M2C'd out too, but I still gotta put the diff housings in that, and I think that's it. I think that's really all it needs right now is the diff housings. As a matter of fact, all of them need the damn diff housings except my first crate. Yeah, I put all the I think I went GPM with the diff hounds for that. And they hold up fine and they don't need shimming, except that I went stupid and put the Armor diff cases in the thing. And they didn't shear it off because they don't have the locator pins in there, which is a damn shame. Armor, they should have put the locator pins in there just like the plastic ones too, and they wouldn't have had any problems with them. Because you sure don't hear people busting out the diff housings for the diff cups for the Vodavons and the GPMs, and they both have the locator pins, and those dirt cheap cups that you can get off of eBay, the ones that's like 14 to 15 bucks. They have the locator pins too, and I just bought a whole bunch of those. And I put those in the Outcast, and hopefully that'll cure that problem too. And I feel the rain. Feel the rain, feel the rain. So I'm gonna go on and lubricate this thing and silicone it up and throw it back in the house, since I can pretty much brush the majority of the gunk off. Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this truck and a lot of fun with the Outcast yesterday too. I blew like every set 8S, 4S double packs that I could find on these cars yesterday. So yeah, let me go on and get this thing fixed up and stored up so I can get back down to that damn crate, because I know it's waiting. It wants to get out too. Yeah, I had way too much fun with these two trucks yesterday, so I'm gonna go on and spend some time on that thing and get it back going and get it back running, because it is what it is with that truck. Yeah, you can't leave it alone. You can't leave it alone. Even though Armor, I'm not gonna say they dropped the ball on it, because it's definitely a decent rig, but it definitely could have been much more if they would have just looked at some of the damn fifth scales that actually exist already and put some of that stuff in their truck. But it is what it is, what it is, what it is. If they would have went that route, the damn thing would have probably been $1,500, just like the Losi. And I don't mind. I mean, I got the Losi 5T in the shed, and I hardly ever bother with the thing because it weighs 40 pounds. This thing weighs 25, and I don't mind bothering with it because it weighs 25. Lugging this thing around is not a problem. My Outcast is about 30 pounds, and it's just about on the cusp of what I want to carry around with me too. Losi, yeah, 40 pounds. It's staying in the shed. It can stay in there. I don't even want to look at that thing. And I know it probably needs a lot of the updated parts too, because it is what it is. I know they got a lot of upgrades for that truck too. I mean, that thing is 40 pounds and it's still mostly plastic. Yeah, okay, I'll keep on saying, but I'm gonna end it and fix this, finish gunking this thing up, and we'll end it up and throwing it back in the house. So I'm just gonna go on and do that. Rovan F5, my God, just keep on being what it is, beefcake.